In this video, I'm going to show you how can you convert the image into editable text by using JavaScript code. So now let's look at the project. As you can see, there are 4 sections. For the first section, I have given their source bar where you can type your URL of image, or you can copy the URL of image from different website and paste it there. And second section is the section where you can upload your file from the local system. So as you can see, there is the file upload icon. If you click that icon, you can upload the file from your local machine. And third section is the section where you can preview the image that you have uploaded from your local machine, or as soon as when you enter your image URLs. And fourth section is the section where we can get editable text from the image that you have uploaded. And not only that, I have given one extra button with the help of which you can copy the editable text that you have converted from that image. So isn't that beautiful? Without further ado, let's start. Hello and namaste everyone, this is Jitsaru with Coding Design. Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's create index.html file. Inside the index.html file, if I type exclamation sign and hit that tab button, then you will get this HTML file boilerplate. Now for the title, let's give convert image to text using JavaScript. Inside the body tag, let's create the div with class name app, and inside that div, I'm creating header element. Next to that, let's create main element, and inside that element, let's create 2 more sections with class name flex between. And if I hit tab button, then you'll get this code. Okay, so if you have no any idea, this is what you call Emmet abbreviation. So I have already created the separate video on Emmet. At top right corner, you can check out iCard, or video's link will be given in the description below. Now inside the header, let's create h1 heading, and I'm writing convert image to editable text. For the first section, let's give the class name upload file, and for the second section, let's give the class name result. Now inside the first section, let's create a paragraph element with class name tooltip, and inside that, let's create image element. And for the source, let's give, as you can see, in the same folder we have folder name images, and inside that folder I have 4 images. As you can see, these are the images, and these all are the PNG images. Now for the source, let's give images slash source.png image. Now for the paragraph, let's give the title attribute. For the title attribute, I'm giving enter URL of image, and next to that paragraph tag, let's create input element with type text. For the placeholder, I'm writing enter URL of image, and for the ID, let's give image URL, and next to that, let's create label. And inside that label, let's duplicate this code and let's take it inside that label element, and let's change the source of image. Let's give upload.png file, and also let's change that title attributes value. I'm writing select any file, and next to that paragraph tag, let's create another input element with type file, and I'm giving another attribute hidden. This input element will be hidden from that HTML document, and also I'm giving ID. For the ID, let's give upload file button. Now for the second section element, let's give the image. For the source, I'm giving images slash upload.png file, and for the ID, I'm giving image result. Similarly, let's duplicate the same code and let's change the file name to arrowwrite.png file, and let's remove that ID. Instead, let's give the class. For the class, I'm giving arrow, and next to that image element, let's create a div. Inside that div, let's duplicate this code and let's take it inside that div, and also let's create text area next to that paragraph tag. And for the text area, let's give the ID. For the ID, I'm giving converted text, and for the placeholder, let's write converted text of image. Now with the help of live server extension, I'm opening this index.html file in our default browser. So this is what you get in the browser. Just below the title tag, let's give the link for our style.css file. So as you can see, I have already created the style.css file, and inside the CSS file, for the root pseudo class, I have declared their gradient variable, and inside that I'm giving linear gradient color, and also for the universal selector, I'm giving margin and padding 0 so that I can prevent the browser's default margin and padding. Similarly, in order to prevent that extra calculation for height and width whenever you are adding the padding for any element, I'm giving box sizing to border box, and also I have given the font family to sans serif. Now for the class app, let's give the minimum height of 100 VH. For the background, let's give that gradient variable, So that gradient variable that contains the linear gradient color, and for the color let's give white color. So as you can see in the browser we're getting that purple gradient background color. And now let's adjust this screens. Before styling any other element, first of all let's style the images, because the images they are appearing really huge. So for the images I'm giving width of 1.8 rem, and also I'm giving cursor to pointer. So these images they are now a bit small. Similarly, let's change that another image width as well. Okay, so for the class arrow that is inside the section with class name result, for the height and width let's give 3 rem. Now you can see the size of that image is really small. Similarly, now for the id image result let's give the proper height and width. Okay, so for the id image result let's give the height of 100%. Now for the class result, if I give the width of 60 VW, and for the height let's give 22 rem. Okay, now you can see the proper size of the images, and also I'm giving margin top to 2 rem. Okay, this is exactly what I want. Now let's style the section with class name upload file. So for the class upload file let's give the width of 60 VW. For the height I'm giving 3 rem, and also let's give the background color white color with some transparent value. For the border radius I'm giving 4 rem. For the padding top and bottom I'm giving 0. For the left and right I'm giving 1.4 rem. This is exactly what I want. Now as you can see, for both sections I have given their class flex between. So for the class flex between I'm giving display flex, justify content to space between, and for the align items let's give center. Now you can see proper alignment of the elements. And also for the class app let's give the display flex, let's give flex direction to column, justify content to space evenly, and align items to center. Now with the help of this code we are bringing all the contents of that element exactly at the center of your browser. And as you can see, for the paragraph tag we have given their class tooltip with title attribute, so they do have different titles for different paragraphs. So now I'm copying and pasting the code. I have already created the video on tooltips, and I have discussed there detailedly about how you can create basic as well as advanced tooltips. Now for the class tooltip you can see I have given position of relative, and also for the before and after pseudo element let's give the color of that dark gray color, and for the before pseudo element let's give the background color of light gray color. Similarly, let's give the same light gray color for that after pseudo element. So in the browser now you can see when I hover you will get that tooltip. Now for the input element with id image URL let's give the width of 86%. For the height I'm giving 100%. For the background color let's give transparent, and also let's give color of white color. For the font size I'm giving 1 rem. For the border and outline I'm giving none. So in the browser you can see when I type you will get a bit bigger font size with white color. So this is exactly what I want. For the id image result and text area I want to give the same height 100% and also border radius of 1 rem. Now let's duplicate this code and bring it down. For the id image result let's give the background white for now. For the maximum width I'm giving 55%, and for the maximum height I'm giving 100%. Similarly, for the width and height let's give auto. So with the help of this code I'm trying to maintain the aspect ratio of that image that I'm going to give for that id image result. Similarly, let's duplicate this text area code, okay, and bring it down. For the text area let's give the width of 100%. Before that let's style that div element. So for the div which is inside the section with class name result let's give the width of 40%. For the height let's give 100%, and also I'm giving position of relative so that I can take paragraph tag at the right top corner. So now for the paragraph tag let's give the position of absolute. For the top and right I'm giving 1 rem. Okay, that is not left, that should be right. And okay, there is some problem. I'm not getting exactly the result that I want. Okay, that is because for the ID image result, I have given their minimum width and minimum height, but there should be maximum width and maximum height. That was the silly mistake. Similarly, for the class arrow, okay, there should be some space between the image as well as the text area. So for that, I'm giving margin top and bottom 0, for the left and right 1 rem. And now you can see there is proper space between the images and the text area. Now I don't need that background color, so let's remove that code. Okay, now let's take it to the full screen by pressing F11 key. So now it's time to style that text area. So for the text area, let's give the padding of 1.5 rem. For the background color, let's give transparent. Similarly, I have to change that source of image. Let's change it to copy.png image. Okay, this is the image that I want. And also for the paragraph, let's give the opacity at the beginning 0, but when you hover the div, let's give opacity of 1 for paragraph. So as you can see, whenever you are hovering that text area, copy icon, it reappears. Okay, and also for the text area, let's give the color of white. So now whenever you are typing anything, you will get that white color text. And also let's change font size of that text. So for that, I'm giving font width of 500. For the font size, let's give 1.2 rem. For the font family, let's give sans serif. Similarly, for the border, I'm giving 2 pixel width. For the style, solid. And for the color, let's give the same purple color that I have give for that gradient color. Okay, similarly, for the resize and outline, I'm giving none. And also now for the text area, when you focus, so at that time, let's duplicate the same border code. Now let's change that 2 pixel to 1 pixel, and for the border color, let's change it to white color. So as you can see, when you focus your text area, you will get that white border color. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, there is some problem. So when you hover that copy icon, we are getting the wrong tooltip. So now let's change that title value. So for the title attribute, let's give copy text. So now when you hover, yeah, this is exactly what I want. So this was all about the UI. Now whenever you are giving the URL of your image or uploading any file from your system, that image should reflect in that image result element, and after that, that image text should change into the editable text, and after that you will be able to copy that editable text by pressing that copy icon. So all these operations, they are not possible with the help of HTML and CSS. So now we need to take the help of JavaScript code. So let's create script.js file and let's give the link for that script.js file. So just below the link, let's give the script tag, and I'm giving the source script.js file, and I have to give their default so that script.js file would execute just before the end of body tag. So now inside the script.js file, now we are trying to select the ID with image URL, image result, and this upload file button. Now inside the script.js file, let's create constant variable image URL, and I'm assigning document.querySelector. Let's give hash and image URL, let's give comma, and let's duplicate it. I'm using comma so that I don't have to write that constant keyword multiple times. Now let's change that variable name to upload file button. Simultaneously, let's change that ID name as well. Okay, so let's duplicate the code. For the image result, we'll continue the same process. Now for the image URL, when you click, so I'm writing dot on click, I'm assigning arrow function. So now whenever you are giving any URL of your image inside this input field, and when you click inside that input field, I'm gonna select each and every text of that input field. So for that, I'm writing image URL dot select. Now whenever I'm clicking inside that input field, I can select each and every text which is inside that input field. So this is exactly what I want. And also now for this paragraph element, let's give the ID copy text, and we'll continue the same process. Let's duplicate this code and let's change back to copy text. Okay, so now we are selecting that paragraph element with ID copy text. So whenever you are clicking that icon, okay, that copy icon, now that tooltips copy text should change into the copied. So for that, I'm writing copy text dot set attribute. I want to change that title attribute. As you can see, let's give copied. So, and in the browser, if you see, as soon as I click that copy icon, that tooltips text change into copied. But now after 2 seconds, I want to change back to that original text. So for that, I'm using set timeout method. So with the help of this method, now for the second argument, you can give their timeout, that text in millisecond. So I'm giving 2000, that means 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, this code will execute. Okay, so let's duplicate this code, and now let's change that title attribute back to that original text. So in the browser, as you can see, see as soon as I click that copy icon, and after 2 seconds it will change back to that original text. So this is exactly what I want. And whenever there is any text inside that text area, and as soon as you press that copy icon, that should copy the text that is inside that text area. So first of all, we have to give their condition if that text area, okay, text area, that is the id converted text. So first of all, let's select that text area with id converted text. So let's copy this variable and paste it there. I'm writing dot value, that shouldn't be equal to empty string. Then I'm using the clipboard API. So for that, I'm writing navigator dot clipboard dot write text. So inside that I can paste the same converted text dot value. So now with the help of this code, whenever there is any text inside the text area, and as soon as I click that copy icon, it will copy the text that is inside the text area. So if I paste inside that source bar, did you see that it's working? So this is exactly what I want. Now whenever you are giving the URL of image or uploading any file, at that time I want to preview the image in that image section. Okay, so for that, first of all, for the image URL, let's give the event listener. So I'm listening to the change event. And for the second parameter, let's give the function name. I'm writing create file. Let's duplicate the code. And now for the upload file button, I'm giving the same event, that is change event. And for the second parameter, I'm giving the function display image. But as you can see, I haven't created these functions. So now let's create these functions. I'm writing function create file. So let's duplicate the same function and let's change that function name to display image. Now inside the create file function, I'm writing image result dot source. So we are changing the source of that image result. So before that, I need to give the condition. I can write there if image URL, or you can write this, so that this keyword represent the same thing. I'm writing dot value, that shouldn't be equal to empty string. So if that is the case, then only we are changing the source of that image result. Okay, so for the source, let's give this dot value. Now make sure you have internet connection. So if I visit unsplash.com and I'm searching for the text, and look at that, you will get these beautiful images. Now I want to copy the image address of this image. So let's copy and paste it inside our search bar. If I hit enter, okay, there is some problem. I didn't get any errors. What is wrong? Let me check. Okay, that should be changed, okay, but have misspelled here. Now once again, if I paste and hit the enter, as soon as I hit the enter key, did you see that? You'll get the same image. Now as soon as the source of our image changes, we want to get the text of that image in our text area. But as you can see, we're just giving the URL of image. That is not the file. So now we have to convert the image URL into the file. So for that, let's give the asynchronous function. Let's give keyword async, and I'm writing keyword await. Let's use the fetch API, and inside that, let's pass the URL of that image, so we can keep that this dot value, that means the value that we have entered inside that search bar. So I can pass there this dot value, that is the URL of that image. If we have successfully fetched that image, then it will give me the response. If I change that response to blob, and if we successfully change that response to blob, then I can get that blob file. Now I'm creating the variable file and I'm assigning new file. So with the help of this file API, inside that array I can pass that blob file. For the second parameter, I can give the blob file's name. For the third parameter, it will take the object, and I can write key type. For the type, let's give the value blob file dot type. So we are giving the type of that blob file. Now we have converted that URL of image into the file. So now let's call the function recognize text, and inside that function let's pass this file variable. But as you can see, we haven't created that function. So let's duplicate the same code and let's give the function name to recognize text, and let's pass the same argument file. So that file, okay, that we have passed up there. So now whenever you are clicking that upload file button, that means we are uploading the file from our local machine. Now once again, when you are uploading your file from the local machine, that should display inside that image preview section. So for that, as you can see, we have already created the function name display image. So inside that function, let's create the constant variable reader, and I'm assigning new file reader. So with the help of this file reader API, we'll be able to preview that image that you have uploaded. So now I can write there reader dot create as data URL. So with the help of this method will take the file. So as you can see, whenever there is any changes in the upload file button, we are calling that function name display image. So if I give there dish.files, and in order to access the file that you have uploaded, I have to give there square bracket 0. So with the help of that code, I would be able to access the file that you have uploaded. In order to preview that file that you have uploaded, we have to give there reader.onload. So I'm assigning arrow function. So let's duplicate the same code and let's take it to that onload method. Now we'll change that image result source to render.result. So now with the help of this code, we are changing the source of that image result. So now once again, let's go back to the browser. If I click that upload icon, we can upload the image from our local machine, and as soon as I upload the file or the image, you can see you will get the image. As you can see, image is maintaining the aspect ratio. So this is all possible because in the standard CSS file for the ID image result, you can see I have given this code. So now it's time to convert the image to the editable text. So in order to do that, first of all, so just above script tag, let's give another script tag, and for the source, if you visit the cdn.js, and I'm searching for the tesseract.js library. So with the help of this library, we can convert any image into text. So about this JavaScript library, I'll give the documentation's link in the description below. So when I was creating this video, I did use this link and I was trying to convert image into the text, but I don't know what was the problem, but I did get their error. After some research, I have found that this link was not the right link. So this is the right link. So this was the link that I have copied from the cdn.rawgit.com. Now once again, let's duplicate the same recognize text function, and now instead of that file, let's change back to that dish.file square bracket 0. So now we're passing the file. Now with the help of that tesseract library, I can give their tesseract, that T should be capital, okay. I can give the method dot recognize, so that will take the file. So the file that we have passed with the help of that recognize text function. So we are giving the same file, okay. If the tesseract successfully recognize that file, then it will return the result. So in that case, now we want to display the result text value in text area. So for that, we can write converted text dot value is equal to result dot text. So now once again, if I hit that upload icon, we can upload the image from our local system. And if I upload that image, did you see that GIF image text change into the editable text, okay. We can edit that text, and also we can copy the same text by clicking that copy icon. And if I paste in that search bar, did you see that everything is working perfectly? So once again, if I upload the file, so let's upload this file. After a few seconds, it will convert image into text. But as you can see, this library does struggle with that small text, okay, that is displayed in the image. So if you have really small text, it won't be able to convert accurately. Otherwise, it's doing great job. So once again, what if I enter the URL of the image from different website? So first of all, let's copy the image address of this image, and if I paste that image, did you see that we're converting the image into the text, okay. That is also the editable text. Once again, let's copy the another image address and let's paste it inside that search bar. Did you see that if the text, they are like handwritten text, then it has a little bit of difficulty in converting those texts. Otherwise, it does the great job. Once again, let's experiment other images, okay. Let's scroll down and let's copy this image address and paste it inside that search bar. Once again, look at that. Talking about this image, you can see that the word love, that is written in pink color, and which is really light pink. And also if you see the background of that image, you will get that white color. So that light pink color and that white color, there is no much more contrast between that text and the background color. Once again, it does struggle with that. So now in this way, you can convert any images into editable text. You can copy that editable text and use that text. It was really fun while I was creating this project. What do you think? Do you love this project, or do you think like there needs to be much more improvement? Let me know in the comment box. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did learn something, smash that like button. If you have any kind of queries, let me know in the comment box. Share this video if you think someone needs it. it. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell icon. Remember, there is always more to learn, so keep learning.